Okay, good evening, everyone. And we have a quorum, so we will get this meeting started. Today is December 7th, 2022. This is ANC 1C. As I said, we have a quorum present. So, but I also see some commissioners in the who will join us in just 1 second. There we go. Let me just check. Okay. All right, let's call this meeting to order. Today is December 7th, and we have a quorum at ANC 1C. So if we could introduce ourselves as commissioners, go around the neighborhood starting in 1C04, please.
04?
I'm sorry, did I say 04? 01.
No problem, Madam Chair. I'm Howard Bollicky, the commissioner for 1C01, which is the far southwest corner of ANC 1C locations like the Hilton and Oyster Adams. Thank you.
Hi, Peter Wood, 103, right in the middle, Biltmore to Wyoming, 18th to 19th.
Commissioner Faulkner is going to become a panelist in just a second, so I guess we'll just wait for her. Hi, Commissioner Faulkner. We started the meeting and we are on your SMD. If you could introduce yourself, please.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Chair Clem. I had some Zoom issues, of course, right as the meeting was starting. Commissioner Faulkner, 1C04, the northwest corner of Adams Morgan, the area around Walter Pierce Park.
Commissioner Felsenthal. Commissioner Felsenthal, can you hear us?
Hi, I can hear you now. I apologize. My connection seems to be very poor right now. I'm hopefully going to be able to stay on. Okay. But yes, I'm here.
We're doing introductions. If you want to introduce yourself and your SMD.
Sure. I'm Deb Felsenthal. I'm from 1C05 and bordered by Columbia Road and Harvard in northwest Adams Morgan. But yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Boots.
Good evening, everyone. Commissioner Boots here at 1C06, which is the eastern portion of our ANC, 16th from Euclid up to basically Columbia, a little bit more. And after 2 years, I still cannot really properly define my district, but hopefully everyone knows where I'm at.
Hi, Commissioner Jake Valaschini. I am 1C07, which is the heart of Adams Morgan, as I like to say, from 18th roughly over to Ontario, from Florida south up to Lanier, although some sections of that are being taken away and redistricting.
Thank you. And my name is Fiona Clem, and I serve 1C08, which is the southeast corner of Adams Morgan. With that, we'll move on to officers' reports. The chair has nothing specifically chair related to report, except that this is my last meeting, and I just wanted to thank the neighborhood for allowing me to serve them. And I would also like to thank my fellow commissioners for the last 2 years, and Mary Coogan, who was going to be ending her service to the ANC 1C after 10 years at the end of December. Thank you very much. Secretary's report, please, Secretary Valaschini.
Thank you. The secretary's report is just that we have a normal meeting schedule this December. So today is the ANC meeting. The ABC and Public Safety Committee meeting will meet on the 14th at 7 p.m. The PZT committee meeting will take place on December 21st at 7 p.m. And the Public Safety and the Environment Committee meeting will take place on the 28th at 7 p.m. And that is it for the secretary's report.
Thank you. Treasurer Faulkner?
Thanks. So our current bank account balance is $4,434.11. We also have at least one allotment that we've received notice that we should get, but we've been waiting for a month on the auditor's office, which sometimes takes some time. So we do have some more funding coming in, and I believe this is on the consent agenda, but we got updated information from the Office of ANCs on our allotments for this year. So we have a just very slightly updated budget from the budget we approved previously and discussed in October. This one just adjusts for the money we will actually be getting based on what the council ended up approving after our last meeting. And we will be submitting that before the end of the year. And this is also my last meeting. And thank you everyone for, it's been wonderful to serve with everyone. And thank you everyone, especially I will mention Commissioner Clem and Commissioner Boots and previous commissioners Irani and Gold, who were the other signers on our checks and frequently met up with me to get checks signed at different times, and really appreciate that because it is definitely when we're not having regular meetings, of course, that we have to find times to do that. So really appreciate everyone's flexibility over the last 2 years, and that's it for me.
Thank you. A question for the treasurer. Are there, or a question for the commission, consent agendas cannot be discussed. Does anybody care to, or should we pull the budget out of the consent agenda and make it a regular discussion item on this agenda? If you want that, I'm not making a motion, I'm asking a question, and then I can make a motion if there is consensus in the question. All right, so moving along, commissioners' announcements. Thank you, Secretary Falaschini, for giving us the schedule. But if you are a chair of a committee and you are not holding a meeting, please announce that now. And if you are holding a meeting, please announce your meeting and your meeting information. Thank you. Starting in 1C01, please.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Here in 1C01, the most interesting thing is that we have a proposal that has surfaced to convert the Universal building from business to residential units, but I'll leave it for Chair Faulkner to discuss that a little more because she's got it on her upcoming calendar. So with that, let me be the first to thank the departing commissioners. I know we have 4 commissioners who are leaving us. Commissioner Felsenthal, Commissioner Boots, who stepped in to chair the PSE committee, and my own 2 personal chairs, you might say, Chair Faulkner of PZT and Chair Clem of the commission as a whole. I just wanted to mention specifically, if you're a chairman, that's a lot of work and people don't realize that. I mean, in addition to running the meetings, you've got to be the incoming point of contact for a lot of people around the city, both in agencies and amongst the public. You've got to do a lot of administrative follow-up. I mean, we vote to do things. I mean, as a commissioner, I review the materials, I listen to people, and I show up and vote. But the chairs are the ones who have to get the resolution sent out and get the letters drafted and all that sort of thing. And here in DC, we like to say no good deed goes unpunished. And being a chair involves a lot of good deeds. So let me take this opportunity to thank all 4 of you, but especially those who've stepped up and served as chairs, including Chair Boots. I see is got a suit and tie and everything. I'm impressed. Thank you, sir. And with that, I'll yield back.
Thank you, Commissioner Balaki. Commissioner Wood.
Thanks. So I'll start. Alcoholic Beverage Control and Public Safety Committee will be meeting next Wednesday, December 14th. A light but also heavy agenda. We have mostly gotten through renewals of liquor licenses, but we do have one item that is in anticipation of the forthcoming expiration of the Adams Morgan moratorium zone. Barring unforeseen circumstances, we'll probably have additional opportunities to discuss that as well. So this committee meeting is not the only one, although all are welcome. 1C03 news, the repaving, I know this was a few months back on Wyoming, but on the Calorama 1800 block, the project was delayed like 4 months. I was told it is expected to be done by Christmas. I believe as of this morning, they're finally repaving the roads. So I think we're lead free. Hopefully other blocks get the same benefit. As well, kind of related, second round of an 18th Street pedestrian poll I sent out. I'll close it tonight. Got about a third of the responses as the first time, so like 100 people. But at some point, whenever moment, I'll analyze that. Although the first look is pretty much everyone's in support of pedestrian zone in some capacity. And then just kind of to reiterate what Commissioner Balke said, really do appreciate and want to send the best wishes to the outgoing commissioners as well as the continuing ones. But yeah, we do a lot. And of course, we all know it's thankless and it's unpaid, and it can often be a very lonely experience. And I think that I haven't really felt lonely as a commissioner in the last 2 years. And that's in large part because of all of you. And I say that sincerely. It's been a really remarkable experience these past 2 years, and really thank you for everything, and best of luck to whatever is next. I yield my time.
Commissioner, yeah, Faulkner. Okay, I was going to say, I didn't know if Commissioner Felsenthal was still with us. Yeah, Commissioner Faulkner.
Thanks. So for the PZT committee this month, as Commissioner Balke mentioned, we just added to our agenda today a presentation on the possible residential conversion of 1825 to 1875 Connecticut Ave Northwest, which is known as the Universal Plaza, Universal Building. I think a lot of folks think of that as in DuPont. I kind of do, to be honest, but it is on the very south of 1C in actually Commissioner Balke's district. This is a project that will require some zoning, BZA variances and exceptions. However, they're not quite at that point yet. They want to talk to the neighbors, and just they have a presentation that is linked on the PZT agenda that they'll present on the 21st, but they want to hear from folks. This is one of the first, this would be potentially several hundred units in the building. And it would be one of the first and biggest sort of office to residential conversions. So they want to talk to the neighbors. We won't be voting on anything at this meeting, but it'll be an opportunity for everyone to get feedback and hear from those folks. And that's the only item on the agenda for that meeting. And again, that's the 21st at 7 p.m. And I think that's all I have for announcements.
Thank you. Commissioner Felsenthal, can you hear us? Are you still with us?
I can, and I am. Yes, I can. And thank you so much for your.
Commissioner Felsenthal, you're sort of breaking up a little bit. If you want to repeat yourself, or we can come back to you, or. Commissioner Felsenthal?
Yes, we can go ahead and circle back.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Boots, please. All right, thanks. Commissioner Boots.
Great. So for the PSC, we don't actually have anything on the agenda right now. We do have a schedule for the 28th. We'll leave it on the schedule probably for another week just in case anything pops up, but most likely we will not have anything for the agenda and be able to move on. And now I'd just like to take a personal point of privilege and just really thank everyone. This will be my last meeting and most likely at the PSC, my last meeting in general for the ANC. And I just really want to thank everyone who I've served with, everyone in the community who participates in these meetings. This is the most direct form of democracy that I've ever been a part of. And it's been really enjoyable. For each one of my fellow commissional members, Deb, it's been great working with you on the PSE. And, I think we've got some of the best jobs when we're able to hear all these great projects that we are able to support in the community and share those and support them and see them come to fruition. Megan, handling the budget and the checks is probably I think one of the toughest tasks in general. And you've really kept us on point and always followed up and gone forward. And it's been a pleasure working with you. And I'm going to miss our early coffee meeting dates when we're signing checks. And hopefully we can continue that. Jake and Howard, you guys make us sound so good with your writings. I can't tell you how many times we've seen a letter that we needed to write, and the wordsmithing between the two of them has just been amazing each and every time. And I thank you for making us sound so smart. Peter, you've been great. Every time I have a question, even if you don't know the answer, you're able to find it. You've been great to work with, and I've really felt like we've been able to connect. And you've been such a positive impact for the neighborhood, and I thank you for that. And Fiona, you've got the toughest job of all of us, keeping us in line and trying to keep us together, and you've done an amazing job. It's not easy. But just making sure that we're covering everything, that we're having our voice heard. You've done an amazing job, and you've been such an asset to this community. And I really thank you for the leadership that you've shown us over this past year and stepping in when we needed us the most. And I remember that rooftop. There wasn't a lot of people stepping forward for that position, and you did it for us. So, and I thank you for that because we needed it. And just again, it's been a pleasure. I've really, enjoyed every meeting we've had, and it's been a pleasure to work with each and every one of you. And I just hope everyone in the community knows how much everyone on this commission puts into working each and every day and to make this neighborhood as great as it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Boots. Very kind words. And Commissioner Falaskini.
Thank you. And I'd also just like to express how much I'm going to miss you all. And I appreciate all the work that you've put in and have given to this community. So thank you so much. I am excited to continue to be able to serve with awesome commissioners, Bollicky and Wood. So, but we'll miss the rest of you. I just wanted to provide two quick updates. So one for the neighborhood and then one around legislation that's passed recently that I just want to go through some of the legislation, if that's okay, because some of it does impact the neighborhood. There's a huge, very busy legislative session from the DC Council where a lot of legislation went through. I haven't tracked all of it, but there are some bills that I've been able to track. But the thing for the neighborhood is just that we are very excited that Jubilee Housing is going to start construction on their project in the Transcontinental Building on Kalorama. That will, however, necessitate construction, which is always a pain for the neighborhood. So I just want to remind the neighborhood that there is going to be construction that is coming up. And that that construction will require some road closures, some parking that will need to be moved around or not available along Kalorama for some of it. We are trying to work with the general contractor to make sure that the impact on the neighborhood is minimal as possible. But just to let folks know, that is happening. This project will bring a lot of very deeply affordable housing to our neighborhood. We're very excited about it. It's also going to double the space that is available to Sitar for their aftercare programs and for their schooling programs, which is wonderful. But again, there's going to be some growing pains as we get there. Then now going to the legislation. So Give SNAP a Raise Amendment Act of 2022 passed, which will increase the minimum monthly SNAP payment guaranteed to all participants by 10%. That's a huge win for DC families. Safe Streets for Affordable, or Safe Streets for Students Amendment Act which is going to make a huge difference on public safety around schools specifically, and also for traffic guard improvements around all of our schools. This is a really big deal. We've got several schools in Adams Morgan, very unsafe streets around them. We're really excited about the mandatory infrastructural investment that this is going to mean around our schools. And I'll be working very hard over the next 2 years to make sure that we get all of the infrastructure improvements that we need around HD Cook, Murray Reed, Adams, Oyster is the one on our side, Oyster, and then also the school on Kalorama up near 17th. Construction was supposed to begin already on Kalorama. So I'm a little surprised that it hasn't yet, but it should happen very soon. The Educator Background Check Streamlining Act passed. School psychologist licensing certification, both those are good thing for students. Also, the Comprehensive Policing and Justice Reform Amendment Act of 2021 passed, and it's an omnibus police reform legislation that's been under consideration for several years. I think there's some really good stuff in there as well. The Second Chance Amendment Act, and I think, very exciting as well, the Medical Cannabis Amendment Act of 2021, and the Metro for DC Amendment Act of 2021, which I think many people saw. It will make buses completely free for DC residents. All DC residents will also get a monthly $100 stipend for any other public transportation uses. And it will make several bus lines in DC that serve many of our communities 24-hour bus lines. So all of these are very exciting. The DC Council was busy at work and very excited about many of these pieces of legislation that passed that will greatly improve life for our neighborhood.
Thank you, Commissioner Falaschini. All right, so I've given my updates as chair, so I don't have any updates in my, well, except in 1C08, except to congratulate Barney Shapiro, who is the new, or the commissioner-elect, who will be serving in 1C08. So moving on to the next agenda item, if we could promote Trevorrow Culpepper and Hajan Shi. We will be getting an update on construction in and around the Champlain substation and its impact and over the next couple of months. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. This is Trevorrow Culpepper from PEPCO. Can you guys see me?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Hi. How are you guys doing? Thank you very much for giving us an opportunity to present today about the upcoming construction and ongoing construction in your area. And I would also ask one of my other colleagues who's on the line, Nagar Hassan is on. She's the project manager for the ongoing work at B Street. And just wanted to see if she could be promoted as well, just in case. So she can
Boris,
provide.
I see Hajan. Hajan Shi should be promoted, but I don't see the person you just mentioned.
You know what? If I think there's an E088 number. Sometimes from our work computers.
Yes, there we go. Yes. Sean, do you see E088158?
And then I believe
yes,
also
promoting her now.
Yes, and I also believe Oscar Rivera is on the line as well. He's with the actual construction company that's working on the work on B Street.
Good evening, everyone. I think I'm connected.
Yes, you are. We can hear you.
Thank you. Trevorrow, do we want to bring the plan up, or do we just want to give them like a general?
Oh yeah, no,
I'll
I'll start it off and
Sure.
Just kind of share a little bit of background first and foremost. And many of you all who've been in the community for a very long time, we've shared that we are planning to upgrade the Champlain substation as part of the Capital Grid project. We have not started any plans right now for the district for the construction that will come up in sometime in 2025. You'll start to see construction. As many of you all know, this substation has been in the area for a very long time, and we are gonna upgrade it to make sure that it is meeting the needs of the community in the years to come. A lot of feedback we heard was that you guys wanted the substation to be enclosed, and we'll be doing that. And what you'll hear is a lot of the work that is taking place right now is preliminary work in preparation for the substation construction. And so what is happening now is that there is a lot of construction along Florida Avenue Northwest and B Street. And I will turn it over to Nikki to just share a little bit about where we are in construction and then what you'll see forthcoming in the next couple of weeks and going into 2023. Turn it over to you, Nikki.
Oh, thank you. Can you, sorry, I'm trying to, okay. Jose, are you on the line or do you want me to give everyone a, is Jose on the line, Trevorrow? Just making sure.
No, I think it was Oscar who's on the line.
Is Oscar on the line right now? Oscar,
yeah,
could you guys?
Jose is on the line.
Yes, I just wanted you guys to give a quick, just give the ANC a quick update on the construction, the phases that we're in and the phases that we're going to be working on in near future.
Hi, Nikki, I'm connected. So if you want to go ahead, like you can go ahead.
Jose or Oscar, did you guys want to provide an update?
Do you want to go ahead, Nikki, or do you want us to?
No, I want to, if you guys can give the ANC an update, that would be great.
All right, sounds good. So right now we have different crews working simultaneously there. We have one crew working on Florida Avenue. It's where you can see like phase 11 at 6. So we started the work there on the 1st and we completed by the 20th. But we have to do different phases for Florida Avenue. Like we have like 4 other phases, and the work there is going to be completed by February 5th. Also, we have one crew working on the intersection of 17th and B Street. That crew is supposed to finish the work by January the 20th. We have another phases on 13 and B. We're gonna have 5 different phases for the work there. We're gonna start on January 30 and will be completed by April 6. Currently, we're working on the intersection on 15 and B Street, and the work will be completed by January 28.
Thank you. So is this Trevorrow, is this all the major work around the substation in 2023, or will you be doing substation rehab in 2023 also?
Yes, no, what you're looking at on the screen is construction work that's taking place actually right now. And as so what's represented here on the map is you see some of the area has been restored, and then there is work that's taking place in an intersection currently. But there are several phases that will take place next year as well, and represented in the blue at the intersections of 16th Street, as well as along.
Trevorrow, just to add to what you mentioned, we had some delays for work we were planning to finish earlier, but because for because of unforeseen conditions that happen, because utility, you never know what you're going to interfere with. The work is going to be moved a little bit towards the first quarter of 2023. As you guys can see, like the last phase of the work is phase 17 here at the intersection of 16th Street. But we're trying to focus to finish earlier than that if possible. But at this point, by updating the schedule, we believe it's going to take into first quarter of 2023.
Right. Yeah. And that's about 6 months later than the original projections. And so what I'm asking is, will that be all of the construction around the substation in 2023, or are there other planned phases for the substation redevelopment?
For distribution, so this map that you're seeing is only for distribution, and this area is going to be cleared out by first quarter of 2023.
Okay.
The Champlain substation, I don't have the start date for that right now, top of my mind.
That will be in 2025 when we'll start construction.
Okay.
But what we will have, Commissioner Clem, is additional construction near the substation, which is what I think you're referencing, and that work will start next year around May or June in 2023. And then I believe Ms. She is on the phone that can speak a little bit to that.
Hey, good evening, everyone. As Chuos mentioned, the Champlain Bypass project we will plan to start the construction May or June timeframe of next year. And we will start it with civil work, then followed by those cable pulling, which we consider as electrical work. I'm not sure if Anna is on the call. She's the lead responsible engineer for the project, and she might have some more details can add to the conversation.
There we go.
No. Oh, is she? Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, Anna, I'm not sure if you have more details.
So yeah, if you can hear me, basically, I don't know, we don't have like the exact schedule at this moment, but the blue lines will represent the work which would be done in phases. So there will be like several phases for this project, and
there'll be. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine.
Yeah, no, there'll be, so just to share, just as we stated, the work will start sometime in May or June of 2023, and I believe that we anticipate construction lasting throughout the summertime, and that's what we anticipate, but we don't have the exact schedule right now in terms of like when we'll actually start and that sort of thing, because we don't, I believe, have bidded out the contract. At this time, I think we're working on doing that. But one of the things that we wanted to make sure to mention is that, as you can see, what's represented here in blue is where we'll actually be working. And so there will be some homes that are actually on Ontario Road across the street from the substation that is right at
Old
Morgan School Place. Yes, that could possibly be affected by the manhole installation. So we do want to make sure that to let folks know that we will provide egress and access to and from the residents' driveways and steps. But the work will take place right along the curb. So it will be impactful. I think about 2 homes will be impacted. And then for those who are in Beekman Place, you can expect to hear, the construction taking place. So that will be along Ontario Road. And then we will have additional construction taking place along Florida Avenue with the manhole being installed along Florida Avenue. I can share that we have reached out to the Reed Row apartment complex to let them know that this work is going to take place, and we definitely look forward to following up in next year in the first quarter with the community meeting when we have a little bit more details in terms of the exact start date, who the contractor is, and we look forward to taking a little bit of more feedback from you all on anything that you want us to know. We do know that from preliminary conversations that the trash pickup could potentially be an issue, and we are working with DPW. We've been working with them on the Capital Grid project. They have shared with us that there is additional, that they are challenged and, addressing any issues that we have in terms of cars being removed. We do ask that you all make sure to abide by the no parking signs so that, we can get out of the area as quickly and safely as we can. One of the things that we've experienced is, and has delayed our projects in certain segments, is the cars being in the area. We've been sending crews home at times, or work has been delayed because of that. So we have been working with DPW to not only ensure that trash is being picked up, but also to make sure that, we do, at times we'll have to move cars. Not tow them, we prefer not to tow, but we will move them just to make sure that we get our work done. So that's pretty much the construction and activity that will be taking place in the area. And happy to, take any questions at this time.
Thank you, Trevoris, and thank you to the rest of the team. Are there any questions from commissioners for the PEPCO team? Are there any questions for the PEPCO team from the attendees? Well, thank you, Trevoris, and your team, and thank you for the information. We look forward to certainly finishing up this first phase, or the phase that'll end in the first quarter, and it's been taking quite a bit of time. And then I'm sure that the new commission will have you back sometime in the early spring to share the second part of 2023's construction plans.
Yes, no, thank you very much. And I will share that we will be looking to establish a community advisory group for the substation construction. So we will be coming to the commission seeking recommendations from folks on the community advisory group, and that will be a group that is established to give recommendations to the contractors and actually share information to the community about the progress of construction once we do start. One of the things that we definitely want the CAG's initial feedback on is the new mural that will be on the substation. So that's something that we definitely want community input, and we would like to use the CAG as that first sort of stakeholder engagement to get feedback. And the meetings will be public so that anybody from the community can attend, but we will be seeking the ANC feedback on recommendations for CAG members.
Yes, thanks, Trevoris.
Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Falaschini.
Thanks. I just wanted to note that there was at least one comment in the comments about construction and how it's impacting a constituent down on Florida. Trevoris, would you mind just providing your email for folks so they can reach out to you if they have any issues like this in the future?
Absolutely. I'm providing my email right now and also my phone number, just in case folks want to call directly.
Thanks so much, Trevoris. Appreciate that. And we'll definitely be engaged around the new mural that's going up. That's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, it will be.
And the only other thing was also there was an idea in there to use that PEPCO lot that's right there. It already exists. There is a PEPCO building. There is a parking lot that's attached to the PEPCO building. It seems like a good idea to try to minimize construction impacts on the neighborhood by trying to utilize that lot to the best extent possible. So I don't know, it seems like a good idea, and I certainly support y'all exploring doing that to minimize parking impact on the neighborhood.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you. I saw a hand raised from an attendee. Does attendee still have a question for Traverse or the PEPCO team? Eric B, would you, if Eric B could be promoted, please?
Yes, hello?
Yes, hello.
Great, hi. I just had a quick comment regarding the construction around Florida and Ontario attributed to the PEPCO station. One, just that, I'm just hoping that they are in communication with the CubeSmart storage facility that is located right at that intersection of Florida and Ontario Road. Their loading bays are located right along Florida, and their main entrance, their loading bays are located right along Ontario, and their main entrance is located along Florida Avenue. So I just know from personal experience that those loading bays can be quite contentious as far as when they're available. If they're being blocked by construction, that's just going to add another kind of ripple into the whole process of using that facility. So it's as much advance notice that they could give to the CubeSmart facility or just the public in general, that would be greatly appreciated. Plus also, they just need to be very sensitive to the fact that the Marie Reed Elementary School, their pre-K 3 and 4 drop-off is located at the intersection of Old Morgan School Road and Ontario Road. So that is also a very sensitive location during peak drop-off and pickup hours. It's already a bit of a mess as it is. I can imagine with the advent of construction, it would be potentially become a huge nightmare that could potentially back up traffic all the way up to Ontario, Colorado. So those are just some overviews from what I see as some potential issues that could occur by this construction that doesn't seem to have been mentioned as of yet.
Yeah, no, thank you very much for that. And we definitely have been in communication with CubeSmart as well. We actually will be having to go on their site to do some preliminary work because some of the transmission lines do go under the CubeSmart. So we've already engaged them about that, and we'll be working with them once construction starts to, just address the issues that you just stated. And we have shared this information with the Marie Reed Elementary School, just sharing that, construction, it will be coming up in the new year, but we will definitely touch base with them again once we have a firm date. I know that they were saying that they had the cross guards on Florida Avenue, I believe. So we'll be working with DDOT on our traffic control plan just to make sure that we are, dotting our I's and crossing our T's as it relates to pedestrian traffic, and particularly with the school children, as well as the rec center that's there as well. So definitely thank you for that feedback.
Thank you. So with that, it looks like there are no more questions. Again, thank you, Traverse, for the update, and thank you to your team for showing up and giving us more information. And as I said, I'm sure the new commission will invite you back sometime in the spring. So thanks very much, Traverse.
No, thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay. With that, we will move on to the next agenda item. Those are public announcements. If you would like to make a public announcement, please raise your hand. I will call on you and you will get promoted. Kristen Barden from the bid.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, great. So I just wanted to give folks a little bit of update on our holiday programming. So I think most of you have seen the gift boxes that are in the plaza, and we're still working on the lights on there. So hopefully tomorrow that will be fixed. It's been a little bit of a hassle this year, unfortunately. But the renovations on the kiosk have started. I think you've probably all seen that as well. And in addition to the gift boxes, we also have installed some flitters and garland and what are called sprays on the light poles all around the neighborhood. So hopefully people are enjoying a little bit of holiday decorations. The caroling events that we have still, there was one this past Sunday with the Dickens carolers. Tomorrow night from 7 to 8 will be the Capitol Quartet. That is a section of the Men's Chorus of Washington. Then the Dickens carolers will come back on Thursday the 15th from 6:30 to 8. And then the Capitol Quartet will come back on Sunday, December 18th from noon to 1. So we've got 3 more caroling opportunities for folks to come by and sing along with the carolers there. And the day after each one of those caroling events, we're going to be choosing a random post from social media, and that person will get a $50 gift card to the Adams Morgan business of their choice. So please go to the boxes, take pictures with the carolers. And then the day after each one of those events, we'll choose a random person and they can choose a $50 gift card to whatever Adams Morgan business they would like. That's a little bit about our holiday programming. Coming up in 2023, we have date nights is going to be returning in February and March. And that's an opportunity again to win a bunch of free date night packages. It can be, a night at the Line Hotel and dinner at Perry's, or ice cream, and other special things to do throughout February and March. So stay tuned for more on that. We're also going to be bringing back the ADMO Art Walk. This was something we started in 2020 during the pandemic as a way to activate business windows. We partnered with DC Art Center and about a dozen of their artists to get art in those business windows. And that art is also available for sale. So we did it again in 2021. And we're going to bring that back probably March, April, I think, as we did in 2020. I think that was a good time frame when there wasn't a lot of other things going on. We're talking about doing a spring Porch Fest based on how successful our past October Porch Fests have been. It will probably be in May. We're looking at May 20th, which is the day after Bike to Work Day. And we would partner with WABA on that and do more about, biking to the neighborhood. So that's kind of the general idea that we're working with right now. So again, stay tuned for more. But we think doing a spring Porch Fest would be a little bit smaller scale and not with a little different focus, perhaps, than our regular October Porch Fest. We're also going to be bringing back ADMO Vibe. That was the summer concert series we did in Calorama Park. That was wildly popular. We were really pleasantly surprised by the turnout for that. That was really terrific. So, and again, probably July, August timeframe. But we've got some time to work on that. Movie nights is also going to be coming back this spring. We've already secured the dates with Moonflix, our vendor, and with the school. That's going to start May 23rd. And we're adding a 6th movie this year. Rather than doing 5, we'll do 6. So it'll be May 23rd and then Tuesdays through June 27th, I think, with the rain date of July 11th. So let's see, I think that's pretty much a good summary of what's coming, what we're working on. I'm happy to take any questions if folks have them.
Thanks, Kristen. For the art walk, do you engage with Adams Morgan artists for those?
Yeah, absolutely. We've partnered with DC Art Center mostly because they are, an arts institution in the neighborhood. So, but if there are artists who are interested, they should certainly, let me know or let Sean Elias, who's the executive director of DC Art Center, know. So we usually help on the business side of it, and DC Art Center brings the artists to match with the business windows. So, we'll be starting planning for that probably in early January.
Great, thank you.
We have a new intern starting, and so this is going to be a project that she will work on.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks, as usual, Kristen, for all your work in the neighborhood.
Yep, sure. Happy to help.
Looks like Nancy Shia, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I wanted to give this statement in front of the commission. I sent you all a copy of it in an email, and I'll put it in the chat when I'm finished. I ran for the ANC this cycle to serve the neighborhood and uphold democracy, as well as the common law precedent of public easements and accountability for the deterioration of Unity Park. When I picked up petitions, there were several 1C seats open, none were contested. I welcomed a contest. Unfortunately, it didn't take long to learn my opponent's animus towards me. It started on the Ward 1 ANC bike ride on September 22nd. At the end of the ride, Jake asked me, "Where is your wife from?" It was a shockingly inappropriate question with two erroneous assumptions. The next time was October 16th, as I was posting campaign posters with Eric Blodnikar. When Jake came out into the garden apartment area near where I was posting, I was surprised to see him since I didn't know he lived there. He went in and out at least 3 times, each time getting more agitated. I said, "Jake, I thought you were a nice guy. What happened?" He told me I had no right to post near his apartment because he claimed it would upset his children. As we continued posting up the street, and less than 5 minutes later, Jake walked up, continuing his rant with dog and child in tow. He spoke unintelligibly, except I did hear him say, quote unquote, "the campaign of Salah Zafari." That same evening, because I was so jarred by Jake's behavior, I called and left a message with a 1C commissioner, and then called the former ANC 1 chair who consoled me. I also spoke to a DC government counselor who suggested I file an ethics complaint with the DC Office on Ethics in Government. The next encounter was November 6th, while posting with a friend at the corner of Caloram and 18th Street. Unexpectedly, Jake walked up to us while walking his dog and immediately accused us of taking down his posters. Truth is, someone sent me photos of a Jake supporter taking down my posters, which I've attached in the statement, but there's no logical way I can blame Jake for this person's transgressions. My friend was taken aback by Jake's surprise accusation. I realized then Jake is a bully. The next time I was bullied was after the election, when he sent mean tweets and retweeted a mean tweet, which are also attached in my statement. After the election, when you're supposed to be working to unite, not divide. The ANC has always been a nonpartisan, time-consuming, unpaid position. One is always a winner for running. As for me, the outcome of this election doesn't end my commitment to the accountability for Unity Park, the preservation of the easement in the Adams Morgan Plaza, and all the other ongoing struggles to make Adams Morgan a more livable community. A bully will always be a bully until called out and educated. Throughout the campaign for single-member district 1C08, Jake treated me and my friends in a bullying manner. It takes humility and depth of character to recognize a mistake and make amends. I hope Commissioner Falascini recognizes and acknowledges the hurt caused by his bullying and his words before filing an ethics violation becomes a necessity. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Any comments from the commissioners? Thank you for your comments. Any other public announcements? DC for reasonable development.
Hello, this is Chris Otten, actually. I guess it comes up that way. I just wanted to piggyback on Nancy. You know, she.
Can I just stop you for a second, please, Chris? We're not piggybacking on anybody. This is public announcement.
Yes,
Nancy?
I'm announcing that I wrote as a constituent of Commissioner Falcini. I wrote to him several times about a post he put out publicly on the Adams Morgan listserv saying that Nancy Shia was a one-issue candidate. And I asked him very simply, what
point of order, this is not what Robert's Rule of Order.
Excuse me,
A point of order.
Commissioner Wood.
Point
I'm
of order,
aware
allowed to
of
interject.
Robert's Rules of Order, okay? This is public announcement. It has not crept into anything other than a public announcement. Thank you
Yeah.
very much, Commissioner Wood.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry. I'm just announcing my experience with my commissioner. And, you know, I asked simply like what substantiated that post, and I never got a response back. So, I mean, I just want to ask, like, if we're going to all be represented, and this is hard work, you know, I understand the hard work.
Chris
here, but,
Otten,
you know, please respond to your constituents.
Sean, if I say order, then that means everybody gets muted except me. So Chris, I'm either going to call order or you're going to listen to me. Okay, this is public announcements. You would like to take 2 minutes to make a statement, that's fine. If that statement is factual and is not in any way, I don't know, lawyers, libel, slander, both, whatever. Anyway, the point is that these are public announcements. You've said, I think you have clearly said what you needed to say. If you have questions for Commissioner Falaschini, then write to Commissioner Falaschini directly. Thank you for your time.
That was my point. I wrote to him and I never got a response.
We're
So anyway,
human.
I'm just wondering, do commissioners, are they supposed to respond to constituents or not? Anyway, that's it. I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you. Jared Allen. What is your public announcement?
My public, I didn't know if, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Hey, so I had a few announcements from the mayor's office, but I didn't know if this was the time or if I should wait.
It's absolutely the time, Chair.
Just trying to see.
Absolutely.
I got you. Gotcha. So let me get right to it. I have a couple of updates and just some information for the 1C group. I want to start with Safe at Home, Department of Aging, excuse me, and Community Living. This week, after thousands of residents and community members came together for the 24th annual senior holiday celebration, Mayor Bowser and the Department of Aging and Community Living announced the expansion of District's Safe at Home program, which helps older adults live and age safely in their homes by funding modifications that reduce the risk of falls. The Safe at Home program was created by Mario Bowser in response to concerns about falling and suffering from other household accidents. To date, the program has completed more than 5,500 projects for the district residents. This allows district residents to continue to live in their own homes through the installation of safety adaptations such as grab bars, hand railing, stair lifts, bathtub cutouts. While the program currently focuses on one of 4 centers for disease control prevention's categories of fall risk environments. Safe at Home 2.0 will now also include the 3 remaining categories for preventing falls, medication management, vision screenings, and balance strength training. Beginning in January 2023, Safe at Home 2.0 will allow participants to voluntarily participate in vision screenings, medication management, and evidence-based balance and strength training classes offered by home care partners and American University. Classes will take place virtually and in person at all 6 senior wellness centers across the district, accommodating a variety of abilities. To learn more about Safe at Home program, visit dacl.dc.gov/safe-home.
Jared, if you don't, yep, perfect. Thank you so much, Moises. Excellent. That's a great program. Thank you for sharing that information. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
I do have one more, and I'll get out of you guys' hair. I have an update on the holiday safety strategy. This year's strategy includes deploying more than 100 recruit officers and cadets from the MPD Academy to assist via foot patrol and business corridors across the city. The initiative will increase MPD's presence in busy corridors and provide opportunity for cadets and recruits to engage with community during the holiday season. Last month, the mayor and MPD also highlighted strategies and resources that residents should use to reduce the risk of package theft during the holiday season. Today, in addition to announcing deployment of additional recruit officers and cadets, MPD also encouraged residents and visitors to practice the following safety tips: park in well-lighted space, and be sure to lock the car, close the windows, and hide shopping bags and gifts in the trunk. Avoid carrying large amounts of cash. Pay with check or credit card whenever possible. When ordering a package to be delivered, track your deliveries and confirm your deliveries have occurred. Switch your delivery locations to your work or to lockers, such as an Amazon hub locker. Use the safe exchange zones at any Metropolitan Police Department district station when using third-party sellers such as Facebook, Marketplace, OfferUp, etc. Stay alert and be aware of your surroundings. And also remember to call 911 for assistance from the Metropolitan Police Department if you see or suspect something out of the ordinary. Residents, visitors, and businesses can see more safety tips by visiting the MPD website at mpdc.gov/page/winter-holiday-safety-tips. And that's it for updates from my office. If anybody has any questions for me, I'm here for that. And I also left my email in the chat for you guys.
Thanks, Jared. Thanks for your work in Ward 1. And thank you, Moises, for your work in Ward 1. And thank you for those updates.
No problem.
Great. So that looks like we're done with public announcements. Eric B. Eric B., you are muted.
There we are. I think we're there now. Yeah, I will be brief. I would just like to publicly announce as well, I found Jake's campaign behavior also unbecoming of a ANC commissioner, and had my own experiences with him and can validate most of what Nancy had gone through as well. So I understand this is probably your first time running as an ANC commissioner and maybe for running elected position, but you really need to
Can we
really
keep
reflect.
this? Can we not challenge somebody's personal, like you can't, like, don't, the statement is not what you think Jake thinks, okay? Your statement is your statement and that's it, okay? Don't guess what Jake's thinking. Do you have anything else to say, Eric B?
Well, then I guess if you want me to be blunt, then yes.
I do not want you to be blunt. I want you to talk for yourself and not make assumptions about other people's characters.
Well, I can base there's not an assumption. I can base it on my own personal experience. So,
but this
if
is
you
not
want to dive into that.
Okay, but keep it as a public announcement, okay? And do not challenge somebody's character. We just had a vote, okay? That's what voting booths are for. I realize that this is a neighborhood meeting, but we are not here to defame or defile somebody's character in this meeting. This meeting is for public announcements. You said your part. You agree with Nancy Shia. Is there some other statement of fact that you would like to put on out to the neighborhood, or is that all you have to say?
If anyone wants to speak to me about it, I'm always available.
Thank you,
And
Eric.
I wish you well, Fiona.
Thank you, Eric B. Any other comments? Not comments, public announcements from the community. With that, we're moving on to the next agenda item, which is the consent agenda. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? The consent agenda passes 6-0. We're moving on to the regular agenda. The first item on the regular agenda is the ABC and Safety Committee, which is a consideration of a settlement agreement for Jezere at 2334 18th Street. Commissioner Wood.
Thanks. Yeah, I represented the ANC on this. It was a very simple process. It's the former, well, it's a former, a lot of things. Most recently Copacabana, which is in the middle of the block of 18th Street. Excited, I think it's gonna be a chop house. It was a pretty good process, I think, on all parties. Calorama Citizens Association has already signed on to it. I don't really think that there was anything that was too contentious. It was, like I said, smooth, but if anyone has any questions, I'm definitely happy to address them.
Any questions from commissioners about the settlement agreement for Jezere? By the way, is the Jezere, is it open?
That's a good question. I haven't seen it open.
No, I haven't seen it open yet either. We got a very urgent email about how we needed to make a stipulated license. I just wanted to see that. I thought it was supposed to be open before Thanksgiving.
I must know.
Any questions or comments from the community? With that, we will take a vote on consideration of the settlement agreement for Jezere. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, please say nay. Oh, sorry, we're in the middle of a vote, but Commissioner Falaschini, did you have a question about the settlement agreement?
No, sorry. I just wanted to say thank you to Peter for his work negotiating on behalf of the ANC. Thanks for your hard work.
My pleasure.
So the vote was, I think the vote was all those in favor, please say aye, which I think we just did. Any opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? With that, the settlement agreement passes for Jezere passes. The vote passes 6-0. With that, we're at the end of the agenda. This is my last general ANC meeting as chair. I'd like to again thank the commission for allowing me that privilege and the neighborhood for allowing me the privilege to serve them. Being a public official can be very contentious and difficult, and also a very thankless job. So while we may or may not look inward, the neighborhood may also want to look inward.